Hi YouTubers, welcome back. This is my second video that I'm putting up on my channel, actually that I'm recording. I'm not really sure which one I'm going to put up first. But the previous video that I put up, hopefully you watched it and enjoyed it. Left some feedback for me as well. But my first video was about people who wanted to know if they should upgrade their speakers first or upgrade or install an amplifier first. And again, I'm not going to go too much into it in this video. Please watch that video if you haven't. But basically, what made me do that video was I see all these people online saying that they want to put in an amplifier first and they're pumping more power to crappy and low quality speakers. And in my opinion, it just doesn't make sense. I did a whole kind of dialogue and discussion on that. If you want to know more, go see that one. This video, I really wanted to get more into upgrading an amplifier for a BMW. In my first video, and I'll just recap a little bit, I have three cars. I have an E90 325i, I have a F10 550i, and I have a W221 S-Class 550. For those who doesn't know, that's a Mercedes. Now, most of the time, I pretty much work on my BMWs, but occasionally I do work on my Mercedes as well. And I really wanted to kind of go into, if you want to upgrade your BMW amplifier, like what choices do you have? And, for anyone who's done research on an amplifier for the E90, they know that they have pretty much 6 channels, depending on which system that you have. For the hi-fi, you have 6 channels, at least for the particular year, depending on the year that you have. Obviously, some of them do have the center channel to make 7, and then obviously the top hi-fi is totally different. For the hi-fi, everyone who has done research knows about the infamous 6-channel JL audio amplifier. And the reason why I wanted to do this video is because there's not that many 6-channel amplifiers out there. As many of you probably already know from doing research on the internet. Now, JL Audio is a great brand. Particularly, for me personally, I do like their amplifiers. I think the amplifiers are better than their speakers, as I mentioned in my first video. But again, it's really a personal preference. Just like speakers, I particularly like Alpines. Somebody else might like another brand. It's really what you like, what you're used to, what you used in the past, things of that nature. But I really wanted to kind of try out the idea of, if you don't want to spend $600+ for a JL Audio 6-channel amplifier, what options do you have? And that's why I wanted to make this video. What options do you have? What alternatives do you have? And that's why I actually bought this 6-channel amplifier. I had no idea who they were, don't know this company, not affiliated with this company at all. I was just doing research. And I'll put it a little bit closer. And I found it. Now, very comparable to the JL Audio. Actually, this 6-channel amp is at 4 ohm, is 80 RMS per channel, where I believe the JL Audio 6-channel is 75 RMS per channel. Either 70 or 75, one of those. So they're really comparable in that regards. I'm not going to go into peak power, because peak power, for anybody who knows, doesn't mean squat. Quite honestly, it really should be something that companies shouldn't be able to advertise on the box, because what do I care if the peak wattage for the amp is 2,000 watts when it only lasts for 1 or 2 seconds? That's ridiculous. Before it blows, who cares? If I want to listen to my speakers, I think I want to listen to it more than 1 or 2 seconds. So, all it is a ploy for these companies to prey upon the ignorance of the consumer. And it's sad. It's really sad. Any real company, they're going to put the RMS, because that's what makes a difference. What is the continuous power that the speaker can take? So anyone who's looking for speakers, and again, I'm a DIYer, I'm an enthusiast. By no means am I expert audiophile, as these people on the web like to say. But one thing is, I do my own work on my cars. I put in my own speakers. I want to put in this amp myself. So I do have experience in that way. And obviously, once you put in a system, you should know if it sounds better or not. But I came across this. Looks like it's called DS18. DS18. This seems to be the 6-channel Candy model. And again, had no idea who they were. No idea who they were. But look very comparable. Actually, this one seems to be a bit more powerful. I haven't heard it. But I wanted to see if I can have a setup that's half the money, that's just as good, if not better, as the JL Audio 6-channel amp. And, because quite honestly, for 6 channels, all I really saw was the JL Audio, and there was another one, Audio something, that they have a 6-channel amp. I think Audio L6 or LC6, something like that. They have a 6-channel amp. But again, even that one's more expensive because it seems to have some type of sound processing and things like that integrated into it. So that one you're probably looking at 700, if not more. So I wanted to see if there's an alternative. This seems to be a great alternative, and for people who maybe want to spend half the money and use half the money for something else, maybe another upgrade or model in your car, maybe you need the money for something else. I'm one of those people where I don't put people down for not spending thousands of dollars at one time. I'm not one of those people where I see people online, oh, if you can't buy a $3,000 system, then you shouldn't be driving a BMW. Okay? Well, I got to tell you, most of those people who are saying that probably live in their parents' garage somewhere or their parents' basement. It's the very people who say that to others, they don't have the money themselves. And let me tell you, just because you have the money doesn't mean that you have to spend it. And I'm just going to put that out there. Just going to put that out there. I could very well go get the JL Audio 6-channel amp, which actually, if I was going to spend that, I would go and get, there's a brand new, I think it's a Type R Alpine 6-channel now. For the longest, I've been looking for a 6-channel Alpine, and as soon as I get this one, they come up with their Type R 6-channel. But if I was going to spend $600 or more, I personally would get the Alpine just because I like Alpine. But I'm going to throw this into the E90 325i and see how it sounds. I think it's going to sound great. So if it's comparable and it lasts, so I'll give an update, probably 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I'll give an update and see how it sounds. So, I just wanted to do this video to make sure that, there are options for 6-channel amps. And this is something that I found. Again, I have no affiliation to the company at all. but it saved me over $300, and I'm going to try it out. Now, one thing I will say for people who they are looking to do something like this, you're going for the BMW. You're going to want to get I got the Technique harness. Okay, you're gonna want to get a harness only because you can put it back to factory, and this is what it looks like. Now, if you don't have this, it can be done, but you have to tap into the original wires, which you can. You can tap into it, but again, once you tap into it, people who tap into wires, they don't go and put it back to normal. They just cut the taps off. So, and honestly, you're lucky if they do that. So this keeps it nice and clean. You can go back to factory, and it makes it easy. You just take the main plug off of the amplifier, and you put it into this right here. And then you put all your speaker wires into the appropriate channels, which actually it's already labeled for you, which is great. And then you have your RCAs. So it really makes it easy. Even this one here, you can see I've been taking out the bag, yeah, but you can see they already wire cut the tips. So it makes it nice and easy for you, which is interesting. So that they kind of went the extra mile for you. So that's great. So you're going to want to get this. Anybody who's done research with the BMW, they know about the infamous Technique harness. This is it. So you're going to want to grab one of those. Now, you're going to want to grab a wiring kit. There's plenty of them out there. I'm not recommending any brand or anything like that, but this is the one that I got. Get whatever you want. The only thing I would say is get a fuse holder, okay? Get one that has a fuse with a fuse holder, because what most people don't realize is that it's not about protecting the amp. The amp these days, most of them come with fuses to protect the amp. And they'll go into lit mode or protect mode if anything generally goes wrong with the amp. What the fuse is for right here is to protect this positive wire. Okay? Because for whatever reason, if this wire touches metal, anything on the chassis, if it touches anything metal, then it could actually cause a short. And that short can cause a fire. And that's why, and when you talk about wire connected to your battery, that's going straight to an amplifier. And I've seen on forums and online people say, oh, this amp sucks because it caught fire in my trunk. Tell you what, buddy, it wasn't the amp. It was how you wired it. It wasn't the amp in most cases. It was how you wired it, and how you wire it and how you protect the wires from possibly being shorted out is huge. Now, I kind of also went the extra mile where you don't have to do it, because most people, they'll just cut off, tip of the wire and then, twist it and then jam it into the positive and then the ground on the amplifier. Well, you want to keep the connections as clean as possible. You don't want any wires kind of hanging out in any way, shape, or form, because those wires, or exposed wires, can contact. So you want to keep them as clean as possible. I did get these ferrules with heat shrink for the positive and ground, so they'll be nice and clean. So if you want to get those, you can get those. So these will go on the end of the positive and the ground that goes into the amplifier. So it'll be nice and clean. The connection will be nice and clean, and there won't be any straight wires. And I can put a heat shrink on top of that. I also got the crimping tool for the ferrules. So you can get any one that you want. But once you put the ferrule on, you crimp it with this. So there's a nice connection between the wires and the metal, and then putting it in to the amplifier. And I'm also going to do this for the speaker wires too. So not just the positive and ground. Keep it clean, just to keep it clean. And you know, this is just an extra kit of heat shrink, depending on what type of wires and stuff that you're using. So, I mean, that's everything that I got to do this installation. Again, most people are just going to get amp wiring kit, some type of harness, and the amp itself. That's what most people do. Okay? So, hopefully your amp kit has a fuse, like I said, and I would go the extra mile just to make sure all your connections are clean. There's no wires, you know, hanging out anywhere, anything like that. You know, just making sure that wherever you're grounding the wire, that it's a clean contact, metal on metal, no paint or anything like that. So just a little bit of tips, you know, as you're doing it. But I might do a DIY on this. Depends. If you want to see a DIY on this, let me know. Give me your feedback. But I definitely going to report back and give a review on this amplifier, because there's nothing wrong. We're spending $600 on a 6-channel amplifier, but if you could do it for half the money, and it's just as good quality, and it lasts, right? So only time will tell that if it lasts. Then why not? I could use the other $300 for another mod. I could use it, you know, on anything. So $300, especially in these times, is $300. So, and I could use it for another, you know, repair, you know, if I needed to. So just wanted to do this video for 6-channel amp. This is an alternative to the JL Audio. A lot of people, there's a 5-channel Alpine amplifier that's been out for a while now. There are a lot of people was using that. I suspect that with the 6-channel Alpine, a lot of people will be probably moving to that if they're trying to do multiple subs in the trunk or something like that. But you know, if this works, you know, we'll see. But one of the reasons why I got this, because there was a lot of great reviews on it. So if they weren't lasting, or if it was bad quality, don't think there would be that many reviews, at least good reviews on it. There would be very bad reviews. So that's one of the reasons why I got this. Again, something is good quality and it's affordable, then why not? Don't be cheap just to be cheap. That's not what I'm about. But I think this is a good find, and I'll report back again on how it's sounding and how it's lasting. But I to be honest, I really don't think there's going to be any problems in that regard. Okay, I think there would have been a lot of people that would have slammed this brand and this model by now, if that was the case. So again, the company is DS18. Never knew who they were or anything about them, just found them online. So I'm going to put this into the E90 325i, just so you know, this is a alternative to the infamous JL Audio 6-channel amp. Again, if you don't know that there's a brand new Type R Alpine 6-channel amp there is, so you can just check it out. And it's right at that 600 price point too. So definitely a competitor there. But I'm gonna go put this in and I'll report back. Again, if you like this type of videos where I'm just kind of giving my opinion and showing you guys everything, please give me feedback. Definitely give me a like, subscribe. If I do get a lot of good feedback and response, then I'm gonna throw up a lot more videos. Again, I do have 3 cars, so I do a lot of DIYs. So even though I don't want to make this just a strictly DIY channel, what I am interested in showing things of DIYs that people don't go into and things that I wish I had known before I did it myself. Because there's so many DIYs now, they just go over it and they make it seem like it's so easy. Then when you go do the job, you're like, they didn't mention this and they didn't mention that. They didn't say anything about this screw, or they didn't say anything about this bolt. And you see all these DIYs, they open the hood, and then in the next clip, the part is out of the car. And then they talk a little bit, and then the next part is back in the car. Well, if this is the first time I'm doing it, how did you get it out the car? What did you have to do? What did you have to disconnect? What screws did you have to take out? What parts did you have to take out? So, all this editing, from, oh, this is where it is, and now it's out the car, it's really useless. You're not showing the person how to do it. So, I do want to do some DIYs, but more importantly, I want to go into content that makes the DIYs easier. It's pretty much things I wish I had known prior to me doing a DIY. And I think, because there's tons of DIYs on YouTube, even though most of them to me are bad DIYs, but there's tons of them. But what's not on there is things I wish I had known prior to completing the DIY myself. So I think that is content that I'm interested in providing on this channel, because I want to give great content, but I want to give content that's useful and beneficial to people. I don't want to just do content just to be doing it. Well, that's the video for now. And this is the second video that I'm recording for this channel. If you like it, again, thumbs up, like, subscribe. Tell me how you feel about the video so far. Tell me how you feel about the first video that I did, and see you in the next video. Thanks.